Hey Gemini, this is Perrymore Tarot's weekend reading from October 31st through November 2nd, 2025. This is for Gemini. Last shuffle coming out for Gemini. Let's make sure that this is shuffled well. So we have Ascendant Masters here. We also have Discovery. And so this is telling me here that you are discovering more. It seems like you have more to pull from. Like you're at the end of your rope and then you feel that you get the second wind kind of thing. It looks like now you want to look into your north node here with this in the fifth house. You want to look into that combination to see what you're meant to express, because there's something that you're meant to express. It has a lot to do with letting your burdens go. Hakuna Matata, is that what you call how you say it? They're telling you you're going to be very successful. It feels like you've been on a very steep incline in your life, or you may feel like it's a decline, but it's a steep incline. Like you may have been cliffhanging, holding on, right? Barely holding on, trying to reach a goal. It shows that with Ascendant Masters, you have the Ten of Wands, Eight of Cups, Page of Wands, and Strength. This feels like encouragement that you may feel within an ancient understanding, a deep knowing of understanding that sometimes it's darkest right before the dawn kind of thing. Sometimes it's so heavy and you might feel like giving up, right? Eight of Cups, a lot of times. In other decks, at least, there's one particular deck where Eight of Cups represents don't walk away before you reach that success. It seems like success is imminent, and then you're just like, I give up. I'm too tired. It's too much. Ten of Wands. I've been doing this too long. Right before you're about to get there, it's always the hardest right before, you get there. Strength and Page of Wands, same energy about how we need to stay focused. I think you need to rediscover some passion. You want to use the color burgundy for this to ignite some passion within you. Okay, wake it up, because it seems like you might feel like now you may feel this stagnancy. It always feels stagnant right before something hits, though. Right, the darkest, right, it's darkest right before the dawn, right where you get to a point where it's like, is the sun ever going to rise? Now I'm getting sleepy. Boom, sun comes up. They want you to know that you're worthy to continue to aim for what you want, and just believe that you can get it. Believe that you can achieve it. Believe you can have success. You want to say, my mind is my tool to use in any way I wish. So if that's the case, as intelligent as you are, you're going to be able to say, like, you ever seen the movie Limitless? That is one of my favorite movies. If only that pill was available. I don't know. I won't be pinky on the brain level. I won't. But I would, you know what I mean? I'm like, what is in there? Because you see so many things in life, you don't know what's in there, you know, and you don't know what you filed away in your mental Rolodex in in the cabinet, in the file cabinet there. You don't know what you put away. And that movie is a really good watch. If you ever want to just see something just outside the box, you want to see Limitless. That's a crazy movie. For a long time, it was like my movie, and I have a habit of watching something that gives me comfort like that over and over and over again, and then I get tired of it and move on to something else. But you will want to awaken your passion. Use this as a tool. My mind is my tool to use in any way I wish. It unlocks things in your brain, a knowledge that you don't even realize that you could use, resources that you forgot about. You know something's a resource, but you can't remember because you're overwhelmed, right? It unlocks something where you're like, well, if you can mold and move things around and see how you can achieve something. You want to do that. They're asking you to um, continue to push forward when it comes to your expectations. It's about, they want you to celebrate yourself. They want you to slow down on that. Like, slow down on feeling like you got to get everything done right now, today, tonight. Let's do it. They're showing you reaching your goal. I see you reaching your goal, and it's very important that you give yourself a chance, give yourself a break. when it comes to love, it feels like it's time. If you're in a romantic connection, it's time to disconnect from the world. So, say you're in a romantic connection, no scrolling. It feels like if you scroll, if you're like, I'm deeply connected, I'm talking to everybody, I have my friends and this, that, and the third. I feel that they may keep you focused on old stuff. They may keep you, it may bring up things, how we got over a situation. We're done with that. Like, okay, I made my mistake or they made theirs. We've decided to kiss and make up and move forward. It feels like if you scroll everything, the heartbreak, everything, all of a sudden, all the posts are going to be some stuff. If you've been dealing with this and then dealing with that, then you know that this person, this, and the third, you're just like, oh my gosh, I got past this. Um, been there, done that. You get over something. It's like that's when AI. It feels like they understand that it's a tough, touchy subject, and they're like, let's just trigger them today. Let's just. I feel like they need to be triggered. You know what I mean? That's the funniest thing ever. But that's what I'm seeing on that. If you're not in a romantic connection, it's really time for you to let go of what was. It's time for you to disconnect. Like if this is a person that you see on social media, they want you to disconnect. So you don't want to like have the thread open and all this other stuff. They want you to let it go. Not necessarily like they don't matter, like that timeline could be erased, right? But they're wanting you to let something go of the old energy so that you're open to new. Okay, if that makes sense, I hope it does, because that's where they're at with this, right? Discovery with the Hierophant and Knight of Pentacles talks about your intention of trying to figure out what works for you. Over the weekend, it's important that you keep yourself in that space about what works for you, especially when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to love, especially. They're bringing that up. They're like, it's not about what was, it's about what is in this moment right here in your face. What works for you? So, what we're going to do is I'm not going to allow anything on in the world right now influence where I want to be. Not that you do, but it's easy to be triggered this weekend for some reason. They're showing it becoming overwhelming, the straw that breaks the camel's back. You want to make sure you don't just, if you're scrolling, it's purposeful. You are searching for something specific, okay? Because I see you being triggered, man. And I can't stand when that happens. And especially with the Mercury retrograde coming up, this is going to be a time where spirit will attempt to trigger you. This is not the weekend for it. Conflict is the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. And that conflict is an event. Say we do scroll, and I'm just using this as an example. Something comes up, you're triggered. We will not be able to let this go. Okay, that's what will happen. It's like if you bring something up or you're around this person, um, this will be a situation where we can't even let it go. We can't even move forward. Um, you will be distracted from aiming for what you want. They're alerting you to drama over the weekend. I'm seeing angel number 1717. So that's usually a drama alert. And that usually speaks of focusing inward, taking some deep breaths before you speak, taking deep breaths before you do anything, giving yourself some time to think things over and consider options before you do anything. Sit at home and relax. You know what I mean? Cut it all off and focus on you. Just sit down and either read a book or something, other than anything other than communicate. I would say not communicating, but they keep bringing up like more scrolling because that's how we connect to the world these days. Um, you got to rely only on your own self of like how you feel, what you want, and all that stuff here. I feel like you're headed in the right direction, and everything is this is all like part of the process here, which tells me you will be triggered. Because if it's part of the process, this angel number coming out, I'm like, yep, you'll be triggered. Because part of the process is like, ooh, this Gemini, is this still a sore spot to Gemini, or let's throw it in the mix and see if they bite. It even looks like an ex would do the same. If you have an ex, they may do something to trigger you. They may post a certain thing on purpose just to trigger you. The spirit's like, don't even go on there. Just stay off of it. The healing light is the sun and King of Pentacles, and so that speaks about how you need to be. I would say you want to celebrate yourself with this. You'll want to, excuse me, because it brings up how determined you've been to find or paint the sun back in your sky, how determined you've been to see the sunny side of the street, how you've been able to stay positive and stay focused and continue to do all the things that you need to do, and how you have been cooperating with what's in front of you. You've been compromising all of these things. It should heal you to know that you you so for many of you, you may feel as though you took a risk, you gambled, but you won. And that's something that they want you to see, is like you took a gamble. It was like a sure bet gamble, but you win. They're speaking about how no matter what, you just maintained optimism, and you should be celebrating yourself for how you've handled the situation, especially with the drama that's surrounding this. You should celebrate yourself and how well you did in this. You could be dealing with a Leo, a Taurus, Leo heavily. We have Virgo and also Aries and Sagittarius. You could be a Taurus Gemini cusp dealing with a Leo Virgo cusp. If you're not dealing with these signs, which you don't have to be, these signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.